Hi YouTube. I want to show you the modifications I have made over the years with this Coralife Biocube 29-gallon freshwater tank. I started this tank in 2014 using the filter setup that came with it, and since 2014, this is now almost 2018, so for about 4 years I've modified this tank to have better filtration, better circulation, and better aeration. The tank looks a little bleak. You see nothing but the fish. I have 3 Ranchu goldfish and 1 iridescent shark, and by the way, they get along great. There's nothing else in the tank except the substrate, which is staying because it's a very good form of biofiltration. Anyway, I got live plants coming soon, and this will be a fully planted tank. Now, just to give you a little background, like I said, I've done many different filtration systems, including the one that came with it, and nothing has been as good as this down here at the bottom of my stand. This is the Fluval 306 Canister Filter, and thanks to the PONDGURU, who has given me many ideas. He has a channel on YouTube, that's PONDGURU. He talks about biohome, these biological glass biomedia, which I've used, and as you can see, the tank is just crystal clear. The bottom of the Fluval 306 has mechanical filtration, which in this case I use polyester wool. And then the next basket is the biomedia, the ceramic glass sticks from Biohome, PONDGURU. And then the top is chemical filtration, which is pure carbon. And this is the result. Pure, crystal clear water. Now, let's get to modifications. I guess the first modification I can show you is like in some automobiles, to keep the hood up, they use a stick, a metal stick or a metal rod. So we have to do the same thing here. Let me just prop it up, put the stick in place. Okay, I highly recommend you guys do this too. This is just a square dowel that I put here and up into the hood to keep the hood open while I work on the tank. Okay, so now the modifications. The Fluval filter is at the bottom. This stand, by the way, is the Biocube 29 stand that I purchased at the time of the tank in 2014 from Coralife. So the canister filter sits at the bottom, drilled holes into the shelf, which come out the back wall, where I drilled more holes, and the tubes come into the back, which I didn't have to make any more holes because the Biocube 29 has these 2 square holes in the back. Now, let's talk about the intake first. So the intake, I had to make a hole here in this vent, removing 2 or 3 of these vent fish protectors so they don't get sucked up. The hose easily fit through there, and that's the Fluval 306 intake, which I attached to the side of the tank. Let's get another shot this way. Okay, there it is there. I had to use zip ties to keep it attached to the wall. Alright, now as far as the return of clean water, once again goes through the back of the Biocube. I had removed some of these little gates, little protector vents, and I just stuck it through, and there's the return. And as you can see, very powerful return of crystal clear water. So I have made so many modifications to this Biocube, it's ridiculous. Let's talk about a few more. Let's talk about ultraviolet light to kill any kind of spores or bacteria. This is a submersible 11 watt ultraviolet light bulb. As you can see through the side of the tank, there's the UV bulb. It's quite long, but to keep the water circulating around it, I simply put an air stone in this back chamber of the Biocube to keep the water circulating around the UV, and that water comes out the hole meant for the original right there. Let me see if I can get my finger right there. That's the original hole for the fresh water in from the original Biocube filter. So I have a few air lines from one pump. I use a giant air pump made for a 100-gallon tank, so it'll have a lot of pressure. I can put a lot of lines. So I have one air stone inside the tank, one in the back of the tank for the ultraviolet light. So now this next chamber was empty. I did put a few bags of had some leftover Biocubes from other modifications, so that's just in the middle part, and then the first compartment is nothing. So now it does get plenty of fresh water into the back area because let's see, it's pretty hard to see. Well, you guys that have a Biocube, you'll know that back there is a vent for water to go in, and back there is a vent for water to go in. So that's a few more modifications I made. Modifications to this lighting system, it's not really a modification, but it's a helpful hint. I use the Algae fix from API. It's a liquid. It's meant to be dumped into your tank to control algae. But what I do with it is I wet a paper towel and I just wipe this plastic shield back and forth, and you will not get any algae on this protective glass. This stain is not from that. This is, God knows what the hell that's from. But you won't get any algae on here. And as you know, as these bubbles break, water will attach itself to here, like you can see here, and then algae will grow because of the light. So just wipe this down once a week with Algae Fix, and you won't get any algae on the light protective plexiglass. What other modifications? These rings that I attach here, this is my feeding rings. What I do is I just put the food here, and they come right up and they know where it is. Now what does this do? This prevents the food from immediately scattering throughout your tank and getting sucked up in the filter. Keeps it in one spot so the fish can eat it. Let's talk about the fish. This is a freshwater tank, obviously. Those are 3 Ranchu, R-A-N-C-H-U goldfish. They're beautiful. I did get them on mail order. Beautiful fish. And this is an iridescent shark, which is really a catfish, and he could give a darn less about living with goldfish. He ignores them, he doesn't bother them, and they don't bother him. He's a wonderful character. Another modification is this water circulation pump. It's kind of like an underwater fan. It sticks by a magnet on the outside and a suction cup on the inside, and it gives good circulation. As you can see, I have the water coming out, going to the left, and then the fan pushes it to the right. Hopefully it'll go right into the intake right over there. Another upgrade I did to this was there is a underwater thermometer in the middle tank in the back right here. I have a not a thermometer, a heater. I have an underwater heater there because I do have, as you know, mixed cold water fish, goldfish, with tropical fish, the iridescent shark. So I keep it in a range of about 74 where they're both comfortable. And this isn't a modification, but it is a helpful hint. I use this. I use a G Dealer digital thermometer. It's actually meant for cooking. Once you open it up, it turns itself on, and you just put it in the tank, and it gives you a very accurate reading. And at the moment it's 75.2, and this was on Amazon. It had very high rating, readback rating, the review rating, sorry, for this. And then when you close it, it turns itself off. And what I did, I put a little bit of Velcro on it, and I just attach it. Oops! I just attach it to the interior of the cabinet. So here you go. This is the 29-gallon Biocube with an upgrade to the filtering system with a Fluval 306 exterior filter, and many modifications with crystal clear water. Alright guys, enjoy.